We talked about before Vince kind of making it clear to Shawn that he's got a new wrestling girlfriend. Are you having discussions now with Vince about how we're going to have Austin carry the company? I mean, is it explicitly said that way?
I'm telling you, again, based on the ratings, we wrote the television week to week to week. This was all planning. We know where we were going pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Okay.
That was it. So we were always working towards the next pay-per-view. But as far as, 6 months from now, what's Austin going to be doing 8 months? We literally were going week by week by week, keeping our finger on those ratings.
So you were totally flexible that if there was a shift in crowd sentiment, you could follow that.
Absolutely.
With the writing.
Absolutely.
The story goes that The Undertaker pulls Shawn Michaels aside before this match and tells him not to cause any problems in the ring. And he's saying this while he's taping up his fists. To assure that Michaels gets the message and there's no issues. Do you ever hear anything about this?
I've heard that, but I mean, I don't know if that's
Okay.
true. And I did not see that. I did not witness that, but I've heard it.
What's the reaction when Shawn leaves? Are there some that are happy to see him go?
At that point, yes. And I think Shawn would be the first one to tell you, I would have been happy to see me go. He was not the Shawn Michaels he is today. He was under the influence of a lot of things. He was in a foul mood because of the way Vince was treating him. I think Shawn would have been happy to see Shawn go.
This show's hugely successful from a financial standpoint, everything. Is this immediately apparent in the company? Is there jubilation that you guys did it with WrestleMania, or does that take a while to...
There was never time for jubilation. People think I'm kidding. Like, we never stopped to smell the roses because there was always next week's show. So you could not stop for a minute. It was a runaway train. One thing I want to tell you about the WrestleMania match that was always interesting to me. Because remember, Shawn went into the match with a severe back injury. Mm-hmm. And I remember after the match, Shawn laid out on the floor in the locker room, and his parents were over him. And I mean, he was really selling the back, selling the back, selling the back. I witnessed that. The thing that always puzzled me, and yeah, I don't know if Shawn would come clean now. If asked, I bet you he would. But the one thing that always interests me was I never knew, is Shawn really hurt? Is Shawn work? Is Shawn a little hurt? I never really knew. But I'll never forget, watching that match, there was one specific spot in the match where Shawn kipped up. And I watched that and I said, there is no way in the world. But then again, the other side of me was like, well, listen, if your adrenaline is going 100 miles an hour in front of a sold-out WrestleMania crowd, but I'll never forget watching and seeing that kip up, and I was like, there's no way. But again, that was just one thing I always remembered about that.